a story a day. Nkatha, she has a story to tell. And all those of you who are out there listening, especially if you have had problems with alcohol,
like who?
You don't have to mention names.
There's no shame.
If you have those kind of problems, folks, please listen
to this story,
because it may help you, or may help a relation of yours.
Yes.
A relative, a son, a daughter, a nephew, a niece,
True.
Husband, wife. It may help. So tell us your story.
Yeah. When you talked about God, I believe there is a God, because in 2016, after over 10 years of alcohol use, that now had become a dependence. I was living for the drink. I wake up, I'll have my whiskey. I'll wake up, I'll have, I used to drink a lot of gin. I would wake up to that. Yeah.
You would wake up to whiskey?
To whiskey in the morning, I had my own business then, and I had quite good business, but the drink came before. That was the priority. And so in 2016, when I hit rock bottom, I told God, you know what, I think I have a problem. And for over 10 years, I had never admitted, because I had friends, I had family. In fact, my parents would wonder whenever we'd go to visit, what's up with you? You always seem to be intoxicated, Yeah. So I accepted. And in that 2016 January, after accepting, I had about 3 near-death experiences between January and June. My car knew the way home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the car knew the way home.
Correct.
And between January and June, I was leaving one of these pubs around this area. It was must be Valley Arcade, and I can't remember leaving. And I'm told my car stalled on Riara Road. The only part I remember is someone trying to feed me water, and I looked around. I was in my car, but in a parking lot I was not familiar with. This man took recordings. That's how I confirmed the story.
Yeah.
So I remember drinking water. I had him telling me to get into, his apartment. I'm not okay. And I tell him, no, I just want to go home to my son. And I zoomed off. Never to remember. Only in the morning to get WhatsApp messages. Someone telling me, you remember me. I helped you on Riara Road. And I'm wondering, who's this? And when he sent the videos, I was able to meet him, and he told me the story. That night, it was around 11, he was coming up that Riara Road on foot. And he sees a car that's kind of stalled, and cars were overtaking. And as he came closer to his apartment block, he noticed there was a car behind my car. And when he got to his gate, he's asking the watchman, "Amoni yo gari," you can see it's stalled. He could see me slumped on the steering wheel. And the man, the watchman tell him, "But can't you see the car behind?" He says they look like goons. And there's something that got over him and gave him courage to walk across despite the goons in the car behind. This is a story, yeah? And he comes to my vehicle. The window is open. Then I used to be on a diet of alcohol and supplements. I'm a nutritionist by profession, and I was a size 1. So he was able to move me to the passenger side. But remember, when he was crossing that narrow road, the people in the car behind were looking at him like, "What's your problem?" But in his mind, he was just imagining, if I don't help this girl, it's headline tomorrow, body found, or something like that. Yeah. And that's how he got me into the car park, and fast forward, etc. So that was one, and there were others. So in June, I get into an online prayer academy. You see, God is calling me. All this, why have I survived this incident? And there's this thing.
What are you doing?
That is pulling me to.
What does that mean?
Like God was calling.
Yeah, there's something called God is calling you. And I go into an online prayer academy.
He never calls me.
You refuse. You refuse to hear the
He
call.
comes in a still small voice,
Jeff never hears God calling and he chooses not to hear. Continue.
Very personal, you know. So joined the prayer academy. I was still drinking, but I was reading the word, and I would see dreams and visions. I've always had since I was an 18-year-old. I'll dream about, say, this show, and 2 days later I'm like, hey, it happens. So like deja vu. Yes. Hey, I like that. You're very spiritual, right?
Abaya, never Pendy.
Okay. And so
he is the devil.
Lucifer.
Judge, I won't judge, you know, and judge not. And so I'd see visions, you know, when I joined the academy, and I'm being reminded that God has always been speaking to me from the onset. He would show me things. And so in December, on the 24th, after a night out, I got in at 1:30 a.m. in the morning. I had a dream, and I saw my vehicle outside the local pub. On closer look, I saw my body, and I was dead. And I was being told, yes, in the dream. In the dream, I'm being told, if you come out to drink again
today or whatever,
this is going to be the fate.
No.
And there was a lot of things in that dream, you know, and it was like, this is something different. It's a stronghold and stuff.
How did you die?
When it was a head-on collision. It was a and I understood why it had to be the vehicle. Because that vehicle, oh my goodness, the car accidents, the near deaths, the same vehicle in the dream. And so when I woke up, I thank God I remembered the dream. Remember, I've said life has been always like deja vu. I'll dream about something and it comes to pass.
Deja vu.
Deja vu.
Yes.
I don't know the spelling of that, but it's okay.
No.
Yeah. And so that's it. I woke up, remembered the dream. When my friends came calling, you know, those ones for kutoa lock. I don't know if you know that terminology. Hi Jeff. Hey, you know I follow Jeff online. But the stuff.
But these people spoil me.
But the stuff you take, I don't think kuna kutoa lock. I think it's a premium stuff. But the ham is the same. The ham is the same. I see how you caress these things and you know you glorify them, but kutoa lock ni lazima. So the morning I get calls.
What is that, like a padlock or?
Precisely, explain to Jeff what kutoa lock is.
Is it a padlock?
No, say kufuli.
You see, when you have a hangover.
Pole. Hata sema na Kiswahili anaelewa, siku hizi nimemfunza Kiswahili ndio iende home. Umepiga drinki the previous night.
Yes.
Imekushika nini na nini, umelala umepata hangi. Endelea.
Ukipata hangi, sasa umeamka asubuhi. Hausikii vizuri. Hauna concentration mahali popote. You understand? That's Swahili. Yes. And so your body is asking for what you were taking last night so that now you can come to normal. And this is for people who have a high tolerance, that over the period of time, for you to get intoxicated, you need more and more drink. So kutoa lock is so that you can get back to factory settings. You know,
unapiga tot moja mbili tatu nne tano nusu
at factory settings.
Ndio unarudi.
So unapiga yangu asubuhi na mapema ama.
Imagine. Na unaenda kazini.
Haina noma.
And you know it gets to that point, because if you don't to a lock, you
won't function.
Will get the shakes. There's some people who have the tremors, shakes, no concentration. So that day when they called my drinking buddies, I never picked, and I've not picked 8 years, 2 months on. So the greatest challenge of someone who has an addiction is cutting off the friends, the people.
But Nkatha,
how did you
stop? Yeah.
That's it. I woke up one day, never to drink, never to smoke, because I used to smoke as well.
What were you smoking?
Just the legal stuff.
But before
so that's the transformation.
You've told us the end.
Yeah,
tell
the
us
end.
the beginning.
So the beginning was
Chill out.
Oh, sorry.
Ulianzia wapi kukata maji sister? Unaipeleka mbio. Unataka kutupatia positivity, tupatie negativity. Ulianza kukata maji lini?
Yeah, it started when I was an 18-year-old in flying school. I wanted to always be a pilot.
Aviation, like this friend of mine.
Lakini mimi sikuwa kwa cock.
drinks ilikuwa kwa cabin
uko
ama fuselage mnataka
Fuselage. Yeah, so I always wanted to be a pilot, mostly because I used to be teased. I was a fat girl when I was growing up, and I would say I wanted to be a flight attendant, and the children would say, "You will drop that plane," and so I said, if I'm not, I still want to fly. So why don't I become the captain, and no one can kick me out because of my weight? So after high school, I tell my parents I want to go to flying school, and I've already brought him the prospectuses for the schools at Wilson, and he's telling me, don't worry, I got you, only to find out that the organization he worked for as a chief accountant had a flying school because they had the largest aviation maintenance at Wilson. That's how I got into flying school. Very green, never smoked, never hung out, and that freedom and exposure is what got me into the fast use.
But you were just a fat kid.
No, now, with
But
flying, with adolescence comes, the hormones, and I had trimmed, and I looked good. So I go to flying school, many men, and
few women.
Fewer women. Fewer. Yes, very few.
Correct.
And I had this friend who would always be in ground school together. We sat together in class, and flying, he would, be encouraging. And one day he just asked, "Have you ever tried this?" He shows me two. The one you were talking about.
Which one?
That one, they called it stundu, So he gave me a stundu and he gave me a cigarette. And I go home.
Stundu, Sydney.
I go home. I try it. Remember, I'd never tried this. My parents had always. Oh my! I smoked. I coughed. I didn't like it. I took the other one. I just saw my parents' house go up, and I said never ever. And so I never went beyond that. Never smoked that stuff, and so that was the entry, and it became a habit. Did
you make it to pilot school?
Yes, I got my private pilot's license. PPL, yeah. And just when I was looking forward to do my commercial, something happened.
What happened?
Pombe.
Si pombe sana. Something.
Pombe na sigara.
It wasn't that bad then. It wasn't really that bad then.
Happened?
Yes.
What happened is I found out I'd been called to pursue a degree in nutrition by merit, and my parents were looking for the chums. They told me let them organize themselves, and so when I was sent to university to just check if I've qualified, and I found out I have been called to a public university, that was when my life took a turnaround. Then I didn't know, but that's when the depression checked in. So I went to university. That was not my dream.
Oh, so
I wanted to be a pilot. I wanted to fly with your friend, Captain Koki.
Go.
Yes,
You could have been Captain Koki.
No, I wouldn't have been. But I wanted to be a female pilot with a national airliner.
Absolutely.
So that sunk my heart. So got into the public university, and because I had picked up drinking in flying school, anytime I'd feel sad, I'd drink. And so many things happened in campus. Nico Diambo was did I say his name? He was not in the university, but he was.
But you were drink buddy.
No, it wasn't my drinking buddy, but he was in campus at that time, the particular campus, and it's someone who.
Na ukai kama
I see age mate. But in that campus, so many things happen because of the drink. So I would have the drinks. Sometimes I would black out in places that I shouldn't. I didn't know that was a sign of a substance use disorder, because if you're blacking out and not remembering, there is a problem. Not everyone blacks out, but that's one of the signs. So if there's someone who's listening and they drink and they black out, know that thing is not yours. Not same WhatsApp group, wachana nayo. It's a sign, because there are those people who can handle the drink, but addiction is the lack of control. It's a brain disease. fact is, it's a brain disease. Many people think it's a character flaw. It's a chemical. It goes and interferes with how the brain functions, and with time, it can lead to a mental health condition. With time, physically, your health is impaired, is affected.
Okay.
So that's what happened.
Did you finish your degree?
Thank God I did.
In nutrition.
Yes, I did. In nutrition.
And you got your PPL.
I had my PPL. I didn't continue with my CPL, but guess what?
Go on.
When when I got my nutrition degree, I got a high-flying job. I was covering 3 countries in East Africa. It was an American, and would fly out a lot. And guess who were the first officers at that time?
Go on.
My former classmates. And I'd get more depressed, I'm thinking, oh, this would have been the career. And remember, I had a good job. It was really great. And so as I traveled the world doing work, nutrition work, for this international company. Not flying.
But nutrition.
So I had consoled myself, okay, maybe God wanted me to fly the skies, to share nutrition and health. But then...
to design the menu for the airlines.
I know it didn't go there. But I do sell supplements. So already with this conversation, I know I'll get you one for the long nights. You said you slept at 1:30 in your office. I'll get you something, for the mind. And now yes, indeed, Zima's coming there. you fix here, the whole system is sorted. I'll get you something. It's called Vitalize.
Don't lie to me.
No, I'll bring you as a gift. So that's what I sold. And so what happens? So what happens is when I travel to all these destinations, unfortunately, after the events, I'd gotten used to drinking. So the Sinatabu in Kampala.
Do you know what Sinatabu is?
I have no clue about it.
You have to take just for the point.
Okay.
So what we normally do here, when you introduce new phrases and new stuff and new experiences, you make him understand so that he can follow. For instance, ukimwambia Sinatabu, Jeff, do you know what Sinatabu is?
It means I have no problem.
Do you know what that is in an alcoholic setup?
I don't.
You see?
Don't.
So let's not leave him hanging.
Nkatha, what is Sinatabu?
It's the high stools at the bar. You're serious? You didn't know?
I didn't know.
Yes,
Do you know the high stools at the counter where you and the bartender know each other?
That's a Sinatabu.
But why?
Kwa sababu kikapo, you look like you have no problems in life.
But you have the most.
You're getting it.
But Sinatabu has really birthed so many things.
I have
Relationships
in my house.
Because you have no problems, like from the aesthetics point of view, but in reality, are you messed up?
Sinatabu.
So it would be a Sinatabu in San Francisco or in Joburg. Remember, it's an international company.
Yes.
I never had time to take enough photos, and if I did, the laptops would get lost because you're always drunk. It's a reality, and I'm talking also to someone who is in a work setting. They call them functional alcoholics. There's nothing about functional. Remove the alcohol and the person cannot do work.
There you go.
So we need to really have those conversations. And maybe can I share what we're helping people in the workplace to do? I sit in the executive committee of an organization called International Society of Substance Use Professionals. And this is there's the prevention, which we really try to ensure people don't have that fast use. Then there is the treatment. People get into addiction or substance use.
There, so
and then there's the recovery. So for prevention in the workplace, we as an organization can custom make programs and come and give the education.
What's it called?
ISAP Kenya, International Society of Substance Use Professionals.
ISAP. And
Kenya.
how do people get in touch?
They can get in touch. We're in all social media platforms. Just Google ISAP Kenya. I can give ISSUP Kenya. ISAP. And my telephone, the telephone is...
Number.
You're going to give it?
Yes.
Utapatia kila mtu?
See, number, they need to get in touch. 07 hiyo yote they will get in touch 0722 93 4273
0722
93 4273.
That's your number.
That's you can get.
If someone's feeling like
they can't have control over
yes. They have so many gaps in their lives.
Let me tell you.
They can't hold a job.
I'll ask you, having done this, do you think that people can overcome substance abuse?
Yes, it's possible. It's possible. Number one, there is treatment. When you notice that you have no control over the behavior or over a substance of use, then it's important to seek for help. There's a lot of stigma and shame around that because your men tell me, when a man is not able to handle his drink, someone goes like, hey, you're too weak, how can you say that drink is causing you to do this and this? But many people are suffering because the drink has also led to depression or some mental health condition. So reach out. There is treatment. And evidence-based, treatment is working
for women
people.
as well.
For women. In fact, in Kenya, there's just one rehab for women, yet women are also using and have substance use disorders, and they are rising as we speak. But imagine one rehab in the whole of Kenya. That speaks volumes. They're the ones who will take their husbands or their sons or their loved ones to get treatment into these centers, but because of the stigma of a woman drinking. In fact, but this Gen Z or this era we are living, women are drinking and they don't have a care, but it's always been perceived, how can a woman drink? You're a wife, say, or you have children. Who will you leave the children with? Who will you leave your home with? So there's also treatment centers, a treatment center for women, and women need also to seek out for that help.
And let's not forget GBV.
Alcohol and substance use, drug use comes with violence, comes with crime, in and out of institution. And Jeff, what concerns me is the aggressive nature alcohol is marketed. Many people are looking at the advertisements and people are brand ambassadors, but they're not talking about the consequence. And many people are talking about, you can drink responsibly. How do you drink poison responsibly?
Nkatha
no, not like that. Just if you just Google what alcohol is, and the other day the US Surgeon General, he confirmed that alcohol is a carcinogen and it's causing 7 different cancers, something that has been documented since 1988. Usijali, it's not that we are discouraging you. You have choice, but the fact is it's a carcinogen. It's causing non-communicable diseases. Ukweli. So imagine after he announced it, tunaweza kunywa maji maji ya uzima. So you see, this I only discovered about 3 years ago, when now 5 years sober, I was told, you need to go back in there, and just the way you got better, just speak to someone.
Tell me something.
Yeah.
Do you miss it?
No.
Tell me something.
Hold on. What's your jibu?
No, I don't. I don't miss it.
You don't miss a little taste of ile.
You see, the horror stories are more, because when you get into severe alcohol use disorder, it's now you're dependent on the drink. There's no fun.
So what if your husband, your boyfriend, whoever you're hanging out with, what if wanakunywa? How do you feel?
Si mimi niko single, si nimesema hivyo. Hawezi kuwa unakunywa. Ukweli. You need to be sober. Drinking soup, drinking non-alcoholic beverages, just because of
soup ya mbuzi.
Yeah, because of what I've experienced and what I have seen.
Yeah, but your man wants to be comfortable around you.
So even that conversation, man, where is man coming from?
Saizi umekuwa advocate wa hakuna kukata maji. Wase wafai kukata maji.
if you can prevent it better. I'm a recovery coach because the recovery coach just means you have a lived experience, you can mentor or guide others, and you work alongside these professionals in this field of addiction.
But we have people, Nkatha, wenye wamekata maji, wenye wamekata maji, na wameweza kubalance life work balance.
Yes.
Okay.
Unaget. So wewe unasema ni kama tei poison, tei wase wanafaa kuavoid. Okay, which is okay from your perspective. But unataka kusema hakuna wase wanaweza kuwa na self control. Maandiko yanasema man without self control is like a city without walls. Lakini
deep.
Lakini don't you believe that kuna if balance imepatikana then inaweza kuwa amazing.
Wacha turudi pale juu, you see.
Maana hata maandiko ilisema kidogo ya kutengeneza tumbo.
Lakini umeona hapo kwa maandiko even they talk about kutoa lock. And watu wa kutoa lock ni wa kwenda huko, you know, is for fools. There are some scriptures that also talk about kutoa lock. But remember, I'm talking about people who have no control.
What was Jesus' first miracle?
Alibadilisha of course. Lakini maanisha watu wakate maji. Lakini unajua ukiuliza
what was his first miracle? He changed water
into wine. But which kind of wine is the big question?
Yeah.
Si wine yenye si tunakata. Uliza Pastor T akwambia ilikuwa
wewe ulikuwa huko.
Na wewe ulikuwa huko kajua ni wine yenye.
That's a hot topic. That's a big one.
Maandiko yanasemaje? Haikuwa hii wine ya kulewesha. Ilikuwa wine yenye jakuwa fermented.
Kwenda
huko.
Grape juice. And you can enjoy it.
Alisema jazeni mitungi maji. Akabadilisha. Wewe ulikuwa ukajua ilikuwa tei.
Unajua nilikuwa.
Just can I ask you a question? Yes. It's a bit personal.
Yes.
Do you drink?
Partake.
Yes, are you a partaker?
Of course.
Huh? You are, yeah?
Of course. I mean, why would I lie?
Has it ever interfered? You know, this is very personal though.
No.
Has it ever interfered with your day-to-day?
I've been doing this business for 34 years.
Never been late, never postponed,
never.
You know, yeah?
Ask anybody. I'm the most consistent.
Ever wake up guilty? Oh, and I'm thinking, Jana kulienda je.
Niuliza mimi.
Wacha niulize ile ananiita Nkatha. We are going back to South Africa.
Yes, never.
Yeah, so
Never
if you feel guilty about your drinking, if in the morning you have to toa lock, if you get angry, you know, if you get angry about people talking about your drinking or yourself, you get angry about your alcohol use, you know, those are just some of the things that can be an indicator that your alcohol or substance or drug use is going out of control. And if you are stuck there and the substance has taken your life over, my goodness, reach out for help. And you can call me, you can get me on Graceful Youth Recovery, Miss Nkatha on all socials, and on YouTube it's Silent Conversations with Miss Nkatha.
072.